Hey kids, ready to jack into the Matrix and surf the cyber world? Maybe we need a cyber car for that. Let's draw one. You didn't think that I'm not gonna take advantage of Cyberpunk 2077 coming out, right? Come on, guys. No, but I wanted to draw a Cyberpunk related car for the longest time again, because I just like drawing these, and I like drawing with watercolor and, well, drawing with inks and watercoloring. So this was the perfect opportunity. And I always like the starting cars that you have in these games, like the really shabby, not so cool cars. And I thought, okay, let me take like a shabby and not so cool car and turn it into a more cyberpunky car. And I decided to go with something Eastern European because that's where my roots are, and I went with a Lada. So as you can see here, I'll blend it in the image. It's a Lada Riva. You can actually find, this is the image I took from Wikipedia. So if you want the same exact image, you can find it on Wikipedia. But anyways, this is the Lada Riva that I tried to draw here. I messed up the proportions a little bit, but no problem. We're making it cyberpunky anyways, and the main thing, well, not the main, but the first thing that I'm doing here is making it a little bit asymmetrical, because I did play Cyberpunk a little bit until I realized that my system can't perform under it. But yeah, the main thing that I noticed, especially with the starting car, and I saw quite a couple of other cars as well, is this asymmetrical design. So the first thing I did here was push that front of it. So I cut off the light on the left side, and I rose the hood on the right side of the car a little bit, almost like an air scoop, an air intake. And I made sure to add some extra cutting lines here and there. I added some unnecessarily electronical tidbits. Also, something that comes with making the front asymmetrical is that I only have a headlight on the right side. There's no left side headlight, but also there's like no signal lights, which makes it super useless, I would say. But for me, that is sort of the aesthetic of Cyberpunk, because it's not necessarily the cool neon, all that stuff. Cyberpunk is also about the corporations taking over the world, and the little man losing out on everything, and just the poor people getting poorer and the rich people getting richer and richer. And you don't really have law and order coming from the state, but coming from corporations. And so people remain poorer. And that's also what, for me, is reflected in the cars, because you have like a car, but you keep on exchanging parts. You don't really have money to get a new car, but you just get new technology and you just slap it onto the car, and then you go on with it and you get a new piece and you slap it over it. So you get sort of this almost like a jigsaw puzzle of a car with maybe technologies from 5 to 10 to 20 years, just one put on top of the other. So that's what I really like about Cyberpunk, I would say. And in this case, I was thinking that front box that will later also become the number plate, but that could have sort of the sensors that sends signals to the front cars, like, hey, I'm going left or right or something like that. But I also just like solutions where, hey, there was just no space to work around within the car, so we're just going to take this cable and take it around on the outside and just drill holes and stuff like that. So I really like this sort of aesthetic, like, hey, we make do with whatever we have. We have to come up with some sort of solution, and that's what we have. And another thing that's also like inspired by the game is I love that most of their wheels or hubcaps, they're not the same. So you have a different wheel with a different hubcap in the front and a different one in the back, and then on who knows what's on the other side as well. So that's really fun for me. Also, you will see me later when I start the watercoloring process that I give different patches of colors. It's also, you have in general with cars that come from poor areas where you had to exchange or replace the doors or a hood or something, and then you have a color for the car, but then completely different color for the hood or a completely different color for the doors. And I wanted to bring that in. I actually gave two different shades to the two doors that we have there. And one more interesting thing, I wanted to give a sort of a bright color on the inside of the car as well. Well, just when you see later, when I do start coloring, I did not try to go with realistic colors at all. I very much wanted to be in this neon color range, which doesn't really make sense in my opinion, but it just looks really cool on a paper in my opinion, and I wanted to go with these colors. So I chose sort of pink, purple-ish for the base color of the car, but the interior, which is the glass of the car, is a very interesting tint of green. So that was really fun, just giving these poppy colors and working with these poppy colors. And before I stop talking here, because I think it's enough if you guys just enjoy the drawing process, there's not much I have to say, but I wanted to stick to something non-digital. I wanted to do it traditionally, so everybody, if you ever decide to do something like this, you can see, just set up with pencil, go over with fine liners, and everybody has watercolor. It's really not that hard to do it with watercolors. I didn't try to do any fancy watercolor techniques. It's relatively flat colors. I did a little bit of fading effects here and there, but I really kept it to the minimal, so it's just flats. So you guys can replicate this easily if you want to, and if you haven't worked with traditional media before. But yeah, this is my Cyberpunk Lada. And if you guys want me to maybe draw a different one, leave me suggestions in the description down below. What sort of car would you like to see cyberpunkified, or what do you think of this one? Did I go far enough? Did I go too far? What is your opinion on cyberpunk cars and cyberpunk in general? I would love to read more about what you guys think about this genre. And with that, thank you for watching this video. I do hope you liked it. Hit that like button if you did. If you didn't, leave me a comment what you didn't like about it. You can subscribe for more content like this. You can also follow me on Instagram for more regular drawing related updates. You can also support me with the links that you can also find in the description down below. But as always, the most important thing is that you folks have a great time, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.